This is not going to end well. Ooh, around a, oh gosh, around an ambulance. We're not far from County USC Medical Hospital. Oh, running reds. Oh, oh gosh. I think he did. We're at Valley and Fremont. Valley Boulevard at Fremont, continuing east. Oh gosh, look at these speeds. 80 miles an hour on surface streets. Through Marengo on Valley. He's blacked out, hard on the brakes. He's in Alhambra. Okay, he may be pulling over. Let's see what he does. Yeah, car's right under the tree there. Slow moving. Nobody got out there. Okay, coming up to Glendon. Just made that left-hand turn on a 6th. Oh, no, no, oh gosh. Oh man, what a close call. Wow. I think we're streaming, so hopefully you guys can hear us. You're probably hearing me screaming. This one is a nail biter, guys. On Valley Boulevard coming up to Garfield. This is the LAPD's Hollenbeck division that is in pursuit of a stolen car. It's a silver Hyundai. Man, this has been scary. This guy is running like, oh gosh, he is extremely crazy here. 80 miles an hour plus we've seen on surface streets. Lots of close calls. I think he might have hit a car at one point. Barely missed hitting that bus there. After only because they're trying to get this guy. They're trying to get this guy to calm down, thinking that if they pull the units off, that maybe he'll start to drive a little more normally. But it's not working, folks. He's still as crazy as ever, and maybe getting on the freeway here. Looks like he's going to be getting onto the. Let's see. I want to get the direction here real quick. I'm waiting till he joins the freeway. Looks like he's gonna go eastbound 10. So he had a couple options there, so I wanted to confirm before I said anything, but looks like eastbound 10 from Garfield in Alhambra. So he's blacked out. I think he's just got his running lights on. Eastbound 10 at New Avenue. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the LAPD's Hollenbeck Division that is in pursuit of a possible stolen Hyundai, silver in color. It does have some damage now to the car because there's been a lot of close calls, and I think at points he has actually collided with speeds. Really scary stuff. And now he's all over the road here on the 10 freeway. The good thing is there isn't too much traffic, but the traffic that there is, he's just weaving in and out of here. Eastbound on the 10 freeway, now entering Rosemead. Just threading the needle here, folks. High speeds, you see them there, over 100 miles an hour. Wow. I'm hearing that the LAPD is going to cancel the pursuit because it's just too dangerous. That's obvious. They're trying to see, though, if maybe the CHP could pick it up since it's on the freeway. But what a danger to other commuters here on the freeway. And once again, this is the eastbound 10 freeway coming through Rosemead. So if you know anyone that normally travels this freeway at this time, give them the heads up. Hopefully they can exit and let this pursuit go by before they rejoin the freeway, because this guy is in danger. He's coming right up to your tail, blacked out, 100 miles an hour. It's extremely dangerous, and at this point no one behind him, so there's really no reason for him to be driving this way. But yeah, he continues to do so with just the airship overhead, but even he turned his nights off, so he's not even lighting the vehicle. So this guy doesn't know he's being pursued, and he's still driving this way, continuing here eastbound on the 10 freeway. Yeah, thank you to my friend Sandra, who is pointing out no headlights on this guy, so that really makes it difficult to see. CHP is coming. My pilot Jim is hearing that, so that's what we were waiting to hear, to see if California Highway Patrol would take over this pursuit. They're going to move it over to the yellow frequency for those of you who have a scanner and want to tune in with us. So the yellow frequency here on the CHP scanner. CHP, that's going to be, the yellow's going to be the East LA frequency. So I'm using one hand to run the camera here, using the other to change the scanner so I can get it on the East LA frequency here of the California. Say that again? Oh, perfect, thank you. Okay, back with you guys here. We continue here eastbound on the 10 freeway. Airships overhead from the California Highway Patrol. This guy is still all over the road. We're at Garvey Avenue here on the eastbound 10 freeway. So no ground units on him, just the airship. Continuing eastbound on the 10 freeway. We're in El Monte now, so next freeway coming up is going to be the 605. When we first found out about this vehicle, it was in East LA. It was not far from the Commerce train yard, actually, just a little north of there. And the sheriffship was trying to get units behind him, but he couldn't get any units behind it, so they actually let it go at that point. But eventually, the LAPD's Hollenbeck division spotted the vehicle as well, and then they started pursuing. And now those units are off of it, and now they're trying to get the CHP behind it. But we still have the airship overhead, continuing to monitor this guy, even though there are no units now behind this vehicle, just because it's just so dangerous. And they may be switching frequencies here to the orange here in a moment, since we're getting closer to the Baldwin Park area. So LAPD Air 16 is overhead, Continuing eastbound here on the 10 freeway, coming up to Francisquito. For those of you who have a scanner and want to follow along, it's now on the orange CHP, Baldwin Park frequency. Oh, there's a CHP unit right behind him. Let's see what he does. He just flew by him at 100 miles an hour. He has to get behind him. Okay, so I'm hearing the unit that's directly behind him. He's on the scanner right now. So he says he's behind the vehicle now. They're approaching Puente. 100 miles an hour. Wow. I don't know specifically what type of Hyundai vehicle it is, but silver in color. And the CHP unit is going to be lighting him up here very soon is what we're hearing. So we'll see his lights turn on here in just a moment. Coming up to West Covina Parkway here on the eastbound 10 freeway. About 80 miles an hour. He's using every lane of this eastbound 10 freeway, and there are the lights. That's what we were waiting for. There you go. He is finally lit up. I highly doubt that's going to do anything because he had units behind him with their code 3 lights on when this pursuit first began, and that didn't stop him, so I doubt it's going to stop him now. It might only embolden him even more. I want to say he has his hazards on. Whoa, look at that. He pretended he was going to exit at Vincent Avenue, but it is now back on the eastbound 10 freeway. Unclear how many people may be in this car. I should have mentioned that. Across the scanner, they're just saying it's a he, so they believe it's a male driver, but whether there's more than one person in the vehicle, that's unclear at this point. Man, look at these speeds, guys. Triple digits. Blacked out. This is as dangerous as it gets. At least he's on the freeway, though. Could be worse. Could be on surface streets. Through Azusa here, eastbound 10 freeway. Going all the way to the right. Let's see what he does. Well, he's just going to go all the way to the left. So he's just zigzagging across the freeway right now. Oh, hard on the brakes here. Yeah, he's got a little bit of traffic here. Citrus is the next exit. You can see some damage to the car because he hasn't been involved in some collisions at least. In West Covina now, at Barranca Street on the eastbound 10. So we first heard about this. We were actually up getting some video of some other things going on around town tonight. And we heard when this was a following. It was very close by, so we approached just to see if it would go pursuit, and it went pursuit as soon as we got on it. So we've been overhead essentially the entire time that this has been a pursuit. Started with the LAPD Hollenbeck's division near the City Terrace area, so it's kind of near Cal State LA. Then he was all over the place. Oh gosh, so many close calls on surface streets as well as on the freeway. But you see all these CHP units kind of getting in position. So that's going to be the secondary unit of the pursuit that's going to get behind the primary that we see there, the SUV. Heading over to the Kellogg Hill area. So in terms of pursuit intervention tactics, a pit maneuver's out of the question. He's going way too fast. The freeway's just way too busy. They could try spike strips, but that's going to be really tough because he's literally using every lane. So they would pretty much have to guess which lane he's going to be in. So it's going to be really difficult to do. And the speeds, they're just way too high. So at this point, their best bet is just to try to just get him to surrender. The way he's driving this car, I mean, who knows how long it's going to last on him. Who knows how much gas he had when all this began. But approaching the Kellogg Hill area here on the eastbound 10. Yeah, that's a good point, Jack. So Jack Noyes at the assignment desk just making a good point there that I want to share with you guys. So they had gone into tracking mode. Police had gone into tracking mode because he was driving so recklessly. They thought if he doesn't see us behind him, maybe he'll slow down. Obviously, that didn't work. So now the units are behind him again because it doesn't matter whether they are there or not. This guy's going to continue to drive like a madman. Over 100 miles an hour here on the eastbound 10 freeway. I am hearing now the talk about spike strips, so at least that's coming into the conversation, but maybe exiting here onto the 57 freeway. Let's see if he does north or south 57. Looks like south 57, so southbound 57 freeway from the 10 freeway. Southbound 57, so the 57 freeway, the orange freeway, that's going to dead end at the orange crush in the city of Orange. But let's see if he gets that far. Let me widen out the shot right now because we can count how many units are behind him. I'm just seeing 2. It's tough to keep up with this guy. I mean, he's driving so fast. Kudos to my pilot, James Pollard, who's keeping us on this because this guy's moving fast. He's at tempo, light traffic conditions, but still using every lane. I'm hearing that the CHP helicopter just got overhead, so he's going to call in now. Up until now, it had been the LAPD airship, but that's way outside his jurisdiction now because we're all the way at the 10 and the 57 now. So it's going to be a CHP now. We're heading towards Diamond Bar on the southbound side of the 57. Light traffic conditions. I'm just looking up ahead over towards the Brea Pass. And as far as I can see, traffic conditions are going to be light for him. And I have a low light camera, which means I'm able to see things even in dark conditions, but this guy being blacked out makes it tough to see. He's approaching the 60. Yeah, he may be getting on committed to the 60 freeway here. This is where they come together, so let's see what he does. Yeah, I want to say he's going to be transitioning here to the 60. Just on the other side of the carpool there. There we go. Yeah, it looks like he's... Yep, westbound 60. Westbound 60 from the 57. '60 freeway through Brea Canyon. We're in Diamond Bar, folks. Wow, look at these speeds, guys. That's incredible. All over the freeway, gosh. If you're just joining us, this was originally the LAPD's Hollenbeck division that was in pursuit of what they believed to be a stolen car, a silver Hyundai. The pursuit essentially then went into surveillance mode, which was helicopter only because of the dangerous driving conditions that you see here. And then eventually, Hollenbeck let it go. The CHP took over because it had made its way onto the freeway. It had made its way onto the freeway. And so now it is the California Highway Patrol that is in pursuit behind this guy, as well as in the air. Pardon me here. They're actually switching frequencies on us. They're moving over to the blue. If you've got a scanner, if you're following along with us on the scanner, CHP blue frequency is what they're switching to now. As he continues here westbound on the 60 freeway, coming into Roland Heights. City of Industry now. Jim is checking right now. 1 hour, Jim. Yeah, well, 1 hour. Okay. So City of Industry here, it looks like you might have hit the side of the freeway there, but regain control, continuing westbound here, 60, Hacienda Heights. Triple digit speeds. This guy has been pushing this car with every ounce it's got since this pursuit began. We first picked it up in kind of near Cal State LA, kind of near the City Terrace area. He was on surface streets. He was actually on Soto. He was on Soto near the 10 freeway. Soto near Marengo is where they actually initiated the traffic stop for the pursuit. It was the LAPD's Hollenbeck division, but he quickly took off. He made no attempt to stop whatsoever, not even to pretend to stop, and he just took off. And it's been a fast-moving, dangerous chase ever since. When he was on surface streets, he was running stop signs, running red lights. So it's actually a good thing that he's on the freeway, because at least it takes that cross-traffic situation out of it, as well as the possibility of pedestrians. But even then, it is so dangerous on the freeway here. He's coming up to a little bit of traffic here. Splitting there between cars. CHP still behind him. Let's see how many units now. Okay, so I still see just 2 units of the California Highway Patrol that are behind this guy, as well as the CHP airship overhead at 100 miles plus. Tapping the brakes. Let me widen out to see why. Not really see anything. Oh, trying to dodge that Tesla. So 60 freeway, gonna be coming up to 605. Hacienda Heights. And I don't think those are his hazards that are on. I think he just has his blinker on. Yes, Jack, CHP. We've got 2 ground units behind him. We've got a CHP helicopter overhead. We're now 60 westbound at Crossroads Parkway, so that's 6605. not far from Rose Hill Cemetery. We're just on the north side of it. So what can they do to get this guy to stop? Well, they're not going to pit him, that's for sure. He's going way too fast. They could use spike strips, though. That's an option. But they would have to guess where he's going at this point. Who knows? He's pretty much all over the place, using every lane. So it's really hard to guess what lane he's going to be in to try to successfully deploy a set of spike strips. So all they could do is just continue to follow him, try to get him to stop. Hopefully he runs out of gas. Hopefully he doesn't crash. But the way he's been driving, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how things end. There's no talk of him being under the influence in any way. Simply came back as a stolen. Came back as a stolen car. But he refused to pull over and the pursuit was on. It's unclear when the car was stolen and under what circumstances. But it was the LAPD's Hollenbeck division that initially started the pursuit. They surrendered it to the California Highway Patrol, since they are the police of our freeways here in California. And they've been overhead and behind it ever since. So this has been a pursuit that's been going on now for quite some time. I'd put it at least 30 minutes at this point. '60 at Rosemead Boulevard. So we're kind of headed back in the direction that we came. And I know they're talking about spike strips. There's a unit with a spike strip. They're going to try to set up somewhere. Of course, we won't mention exactly where, just in case he's listening to our broadcasts, which does happen sometimes, and we're not trying to help him dodge them, that's for sure. Still 60 westbound. We were headed east for a while. Now we're headed west for a while as well. Pursuits tend to return to the area where they began. So if that's the case, my guess is he's going to be heading back towards kind of the East LA area. Of course, when they run the car, that's just going to give them the information of the registered owner or the rightful owner of the vehicle. So that doesn't help police figure out who's driving it, since this guy allegedly stole it. And now, real quickly, I'm just going to say a few words for our sister station, Telemundo, in Spanish, and then we'll resume our coverage in English. Once again, thank you for watching us here on NBCLA.com and all of our streaming platforms. Buenas noches desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre una persecución policíaca que se encuentra en la autopista 60 en dirección oeste en la ciudad de Montebello. Esa es una persecución que empezó aproximadamente, será unos 30 minutos en el área del este de Los Ángeles con la policía de la ciudad de Los Ángeles de la división Hollenbeck. La persecución empezó en el área de City Terrace, una persecución que ha estado a altas velocidades todo el tiempo, una persecución de un vehículo Hyundai gris en color. Al momento se desconoce cuántas personas están adentro del vehículo, pero el conductor es un hombre y desde que la persecución empezó, ahora la patrulla de caminos de California es el departamento que está detrás del vehículo, con por lo menos 2 patrullas del Departamento de Patrullas de California, junto con el helicóptero que llegó del aeropuerto de Fullerton para seguir esta persecución, que ahora continúa aquí en una dirección oeste en la autopista 60, acercándose a la autopista 710 en Monterey Park. El vehículo es presumamente un carro robado. Reportando desde Monterey Park, desde el helicóptero, yo soy Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52. Back with you guys now in English for NBC LA. 111 miles an hour. I think I've seen as high as 117. Continuing on the 60 westbound, LAPD was the original agency on this one. It is now the CHP. And we've got units of the CHP behind this guy. We've got the airship overhead as well. We're 60 at the 710 essentially. So we're in Monterey Park area, East Los Angeles. You've got units of the CHP that you see off to the sides there. That's what's called the Code 100. So essentially they're off to the side, ready to swoop in if needed as pursuits continue on the freeway here in California. A different portion of the CHP can take over. A different CHP office is able to take over. So we just had the Baldwin Park units behind him, but now East LA units are going to be able to take over because we're now entering East Los Angeles. If we continue westbound towards downtown LA, then the central units of the CHP can take over. So at that point, those units can move into the pursuit. That way the other units can return to their original areas of service. He may be exiting though. Let's see what he does here. I think he's exiting. So possibly exiting here at Lorena Street. Yep, exiting Lorena here from the westbound 60. This is going to put him in East Los Angeles. Going to set up to make that southbound turn onto Lorena from the 60 freeway, going over the 60 freeway. You might just get right back on. Nope, I was wrong. So headed here southbound on Lorena. Cross traffic. Oh gosh. Blew that red. Man. Is this guy lucky or what? Still southbound on Lorena. Now the officers, they're not going to run the red lights too, the way he is. What they're going to do is they'll try to clear the intersection the best they can and continue to follow him. But because he is running, oh gosh. Ran the red there, nearly collided with that car. Making a turn here onto a small street called Estrada Street from Lorena. Residential area here of East Los Angeles. Making a southbound here onto Concord. This is a really interesting choice to come this way. That leads me to believe that this is an area that he's familiar with because it's not really somewhere where you would naturally think to turn to try to avoid the police. There is a dead end coming up, but let's see what he does. I have a feeling he knows this area pretty well, so he likely won't trap himself. He's on Wynwood Lane, making another turn here. I think this is going to be 8th. Either Grande Vista or 8th, one of the two. I think it's 8th. Okay, making another turn and kind of making circles around this same general neighborhood now. Okay, we got a unit right behind him. Let's see. Yep, turning into a neighborhood here of some apartments. I think he's going to ditch the car. Yep, here's a dead end. What are you going to do, buddy? Let's see. Yep, there. Driving onto the... Okay, just on the other side of these apartments. Going to be coming under these trees with lots of deputies behind him, lots of officers rather here from the CHP. 4 officers from the California Highway Patrol taking this man now into custody. So Jim's going to move the helicopter over just a touch to the right so we can see the arrest. We're just off of Glen Avenue and Concord Street. We're in East Los Angeles. Okay, cool. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Jim, for bringing us around. So what we couldn't see there when the building was obstructing was that a team of officers moved in for the arrest. You see them there. officer just took a spill there. The vehicle was stolen out of Monterey Park. And it might just be my eyes, but it looks like this is a very young man who is now in custody. It's pretty dark down there. Let me see if the infrared helps us any. Okay, there we go. I'm getting a little bit more light here from the street lights. Yeah, he looks very young. Let me confirm, Jack. Yes. Yes, it will. It will, Jack. Not far at all. I can see it out the window. Like maybe 2 minutes. Uh, you do one or you don't, Jack? Okay. Well, I think we're still streaming, so for the... Okay, go ahead, Jack. Okay, sounds good. We're just going to fly around then as I queue up the tape to feed that back to you. And for those of you who are still watching us online, we of course thank you very much for your viewership. I'm actually going to feed back the termination there because I think we dropped to black there for just a moment on a turn. But we are also going to prepare here for the NBC4 News at 11 o'clock. We thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll have the newscast coming up here in the next 30 minutes. Once again, thank you for watching. From News Shop Report, I'm Eliana Moreno, alongside my pilot James Pollard. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you at 11.